Bismillah. Peace be unto you all. I'm a Muslim disciple of Jesus, and that is a result of back-to-back study of the Bible and the Quran. Some 12 years ago, I began to study the Quran intensively and the Bible too. And after studying the Quran closely for a period of 6 months, from April, I think April, May, June, July, August, September, October, a period of 6 months. In the 7th month, I came to the realization and conviction that the Quran did declared Jesus as Lord. And that would be impossible if Jesus is dead, because a dead person cannot be Lord. And after 5 years, I realized that there was a guy of the series of those that have been claiming they are prophets after the Arab prophet that recited the Quran. There was a guy that is a doctor. I don't remember the guy's nationality, that claimed he stumbled on something that he referred to as the 19 code. They refer to it as the mathematical miracle of the Quran. The 19 code, a numerical value that proves the Quran is a revelation from God. So I stumbled on the guy. The guy made a claim that there are 2 verses in the Quran that are not part of the revelation. So that happened to be in the same chapter that declared Jesus as Lord. So that attracted my attention somehow. When the guy made the claim, I studied the Quran translation of the guy. He did put the mathematical miracle at the back of his translated Quran as one of the appendixes. So I decided to take a look, and then I realized the guy is claiming to be Jesus. A lot of people claim to be Jesus in ignorance without realizing they are claiming to be Jesus. And then they just think, the thing is this: if you are the type that study a lot, after studying the Quran for like a year or 2, you start saying things. You start saying things that the conventional Islamic system would not have allowed you to see, because the system is somehow organized. You go to the madrasa, you memorize the Quran, you memorize a bunch of junks that they call hadith, and then you spend your time unnecessarily on what is called sunnah, trying to adapt the lifestyle of the Arabs as a standard living system of life, claiming the Arab prophet is sent to the whole world. That's funny. If you are the type that consider things from the intellectual perspective, you realize that how can a dead man be sent to the whole world? Doesn't add up. Someone that have died in the 7th century. So is now the mercy on me now? You see, some things don't add up. And then the funniest part of this thing is that these people making this illogical claim always ascribe it to God. They always ascribe it to God, knowing fully well that the Quran emphasizes that those that invented a lie and place that lie as being originated from God will never be successful. Yet these people still went ahead, invent a lie, ascribe it to God, and establish a religious system on it. It baffles me, I just sometimes I just wonder how fearless these people are. So when the Quran declares Jesus as Rahmat, what is the context? Because when the meaning of something is not known, abuse is inevitable, and that is what the Arabs did. The Arabs did Jesus being Rahmat is just words of the mouth, it's mercy. So they can fit anybody into it. And when the Quran said, "We did not send you except as message to the whole world," the Arab prophet is the one that is sent as message. But Jesus is the one that is created as message. And then the Israelites came from nowhere and pushed the Palestinians that have the mercy of the Arab prophet on them. They pushed them away. The Israelites that are accursed or rejected according to the Quran now gain dominance of the land. They took the dominance from those that has mercy, but the Israelites are accursed. So many inconsistencies. But when you actually want answers to these inconsistencies, you start seeing things the way it is. And then for you to stand on the reality takes a leap of faith. You got to be willing to enjoy a lot of things because you're going to be really lonely. Except you understand that you are not alone. Because the prophets during their days too were very lonely people. I know the Christians are familiar with Elijah. But you see the kind of lonely life Elijah lived. And the only time he will come out of the blue was to kill about 850 people. Literally, 850. Some 400, some 450 fake prophets of bad. And then the followers of Muhammad want to identify with the prophets in lies. Lies. The Quran did not omit anything. And that is why the Quran is a unique masterpiece, because even the faith of the so elevated Arab prophet is in the Quran. And that is why the Quran used the subtle trap of declaring that God taught Jesus the book. The followers of Muhammad don't realize that as a trap, but a subtle one. A trap that doesn't really seem to be like a trap, but it's a trap. So, if Jesus is the one God teach the book, or Jesus is the one that was taught the book by God, where did the Arab prophet come from? Where in the text or in the context of the Quran did he say God taught the Arab prophet the book? But you guys don't really understand what is at stake. You don't. And I hope you realize soon. But the Quran have emphasized that the followers of Muhammad will not turn until the punishment is fulfilled. When the punishment will be, the decision is in the hands of God. But the hard fact the followers of Muhammad are not prepared for in this generation is that the Ummah of Muhammad is coming to an end. So be prepared.